Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and this one is an insane video. I've been requested multiple times on my live streams. People come in on all my videos, they want the T2 build. This is what I'm currently working with. This is what I'm going to go into tier 2 looking to achieve, and we'll give you a full breakdown coming up. Stay tuned, guys. All right, so let's get started with our weapons into our armor and accessories. First of all, I want to start with Peerless Obsidian Razors only because I do run a Fatal Stigma setup as well on my Dark Blighter. We're going to keep the Tevant's Grasp. You know the deal. Tevant since day one, baby. Now, with the armor, we're going to be running two set Elder for the skill damage over time by 12%. Every time you stack a weaken on a target. We stack weakens like crazy. Um, it can be up to 12%. So we're going to get 12% dot damage across the board. So a 12% damage buff. Massive. We're doing Elder Helmet, Elder Boots. And the reason you do helmet and boots is for the weaken chance on the helmet and the hit chance and bonus damage on the boots. The cloak is going to be the Spine Flower Royal Guard, and that's for the damage reduction and the increased range. The other two set we're running is Vanguard. We're running Vanguard because we're running an endurance build with our Dark Blighter. We're no longer going to be running an evasion build. We're going to try to counter the meta of what everyone's running in T2, and everybody believes everybody's stacking as much evasion as they can. So we're going to try to counter it. No one's going to be running crit, so we're going to be super tanky by running endurance. Two set, we're going to go with the Vanguard chest, Vanguard gloves. Both of them for the reason for the stack and damage reduction, range endurance on the chest. And then we're going to go for the hit chance on the gloves. That's one of the reasons we run that. The other item we're running for armor is going to be the Elite Resistance legs, which is going to give us health, melee, ranged endurance. That's the big key right there, melee, ranged endurance. Being able to stack an extra 160 on top of those. Now let's get into our accessories. Accessories, we're going to be running the Frosty Deadman's Necklace, the Song of the Night Sky Bracelet, again for the magic endurance, range endurance. Pure Light Elemental Ring for extra hit chance. Black Anvil Obsidian Ring for the stat squish. Wisdom, Perception, Strength. Huge stat bonuses here. The Fell Tree Belt for the defense and stats. Okay. So if we look over at our stats right now, our attributes, we're running 52 strength. So we're getting the heavy attack chance, 40 dexterity for the bonus damage, 40 wisdom for the debuff duration, 80 perception for hit chance, and to stack with our two set from Vanguards. So keep this in mind. We're getting an extra 45 per 10. So 45 times 8 worth of endurance with this. And then 30 fortitude for the extra 100 endurance stack. Foods are going to be your normal hit chance if you need the extra hit chance, which we probably will if people are running evasion. Your scorpion tail fritters, and then your mana and health regen. If we look at our runes now, synergies, you're going to want to run hit chances, melee endurance on all of the runes that you can. Synergies we want to go with is damage reduction on the belt, perception on both rings, perception max health, the bracelet max health bonus damage, the necklace wisdom max health, the wand strength crit damage resistance, and then the other one is perception, shield block, chance, pierce. You could also change this out, but we're doing it mainly for the perception stack. So we don't have to perception stack anywhere else because we want the 80 perception. Of course, if you look at my armor and the traits, you have hit chance, heavy attack, crit on both of the weapons. Armor, you're stacking magic, melee or ranged melee endurance with whatever trait fits the best. So max health for the chest, hit chance for the gloves. You kind of get the picture here. For the cloak, mana regen, skill damage resistance debuff, and rings, max mana on the necklace and bracelet, max health on the rings, and max health on the belt with your skill damage boost, skill damage resistances. The resonance effects, we are stacking max health across the board on our accessories, on the boots, and all of your armors here. You want to go in endurance. Okay. Depending on what you need to stack, I highly recommend stacking melee endurance because your movement abilities are going to give you ranged and magic endurance. So you need to stack as much melee as you can because you're going to get a boost every 5-6 seconds by just weaving in a movement ability, which is key to this build. The cloak, max health. The weapons, we're running hit chance. Skills, you already have seen a skill guide, so we're not going to get into the skills. Artifacts, we're running 3 2-set bonuses here: shield block, pin, hit chance, and endurance. And the masteries, here's the key for our masteries, guys. Okay, we're going to all the way to Abyssal Touch, all the way to Dream Demon. The reason you want this is because the curse damage is going to randomly pop curse explosions. Dream's going to allow them to sleep more. A 20% chance of applying Dream Demon, but can't be removed from attacking. So this is a key. Like, Dream Demon is literally just going to keep them slept. Anybody can attack. Huge. We're also picking up some of those healing damage abilities. We're going full send with our build here with Disciples Rage and Noble. Where's it at? Vampiric Wound. So Vampiric Contract is now going to do damage, and Disciples Rage is now going to make our Swift Healing and Clay Salvation and Fountain of Life do damage. So all of our healing abilities are now going to do damage as well. I'll stay on the screen for just a second so that you can see everything. All right, now let's get into our bonuses. We're going to go with Overcome Crisis, just to give us the extra attack speed and cooldown speed when we're below 50% health to potentially keep us alive once every 60 seconds. We're going to also go with the survival skills, so like cloak and everything. Anything that's considered a survival skill is going to get decreased by 3 seconds whenever you kill somebody. So we're going in trying to kill, get the stealth abilities, get out, right? Rinse, repeat. But the potential stacking 1 stat point per one, that's massive, massive, massive. And then the final one, I think this one's going to be the most popular across the board. When you activate it for 5 seconds, your health has to stay above 90%. On being hit, a shield with health equal to 120 times your fortitude. Right? So basically, you initiate with this, you're going to stay alive for an extra 5 seconds. You're giving yourself a 5-second window here. Okay, so your initiate, make sure you're using Indomitable Stance. Indomitable Stance, yeah. All right, let's look at our daggers. Daggers, little spread out here, so keep an eye on it. One thing you want to make sure you're picking up is shadow armor, so that you can get endurance instead of evasion for your magic and range with movement abilities. Um, then I'm going all the way up into the dagger skill. You do not pop grudge. Do not do this. You don't want to waste your mana. But go all the way up to blade twist. Get the extra skill damage by 4%. Wrathful edge. This is all just kind of damage here. Increased movement speed, extra mana regen where you can pick it up. And then the other one is hermit. When you get hit with a magic attack, okay? Magic endurance is going to be your most or your least endurance out there. So if you're getting hit with a magic attack, you're going to create a shield to evade most of them, and it has a cooldown of every 30 seconds. So with every a 30-second window to be able to survive magic, which is your least resistance on endurance over. And we'll get into those stats in a second. But this is key right here. Make sure you pick up it hermit 100%. That way that you can counter those magic endurances. All right. Now, the final thing to take a look at. We've looked at our armor. We've looked at traits. We've looked at resonant effects. We've looked at runes. We've looked at artifacts. We looked at our skills and mastery. Now let's look at what these damage, like these stat numbers are looking like over here. Okay. Keep in mind, you don't do a ton of damage. Like, it doesn't show a ton of damage right away. Your main goal with Dark Blighter, get in, CC the backline. If you're doing damage, spread that damage with Karmic Haze, do an explosion, rinse, repeat, get out. That explosion with the reverse heal, I'm going to call it, is now going to one-shot people. So your bonus damage is what is key. I said that a lot. Bonus damage, it's not necessarily what's key, but bonus damage is what makes this build strong right now. You're going to see a lot of Dark Blighters coming out of the woodworks. We're going to lead the pack here. Our crit chances are sitting about 1200. Heavy attack about 450. Crit damage 16.8. Hit chance, okay, 1600 for melee and range. Magic is at almost 1900. Okay, that one's up there, but you remember, people are going to be stacking evasions. Magic is your least represented class out there. You only have 2 magic damage dealers right now in staff and wand. So stacking magic using more wand spells, you will see a lot more damage, a lot less of those evasion stacks for magic. When we get into damage protection numbers, 80% damage reduction, melee range defense about 2400, magic defense about 2k, because you see less magic users. No evasions, only 94, and that's just from your masteries. Here is what we focus on with this build. 2500 melee endurance. If you run into a melee user with 2500 crit, you may get rocked. But that is so unlikely, guys. And then you have 1700 range endurance, 1700 magic endurance. You're like, hey, Teddy, this looks low, right? We need to stack a little bit more of that. No, you do not. What you need to do, if we go back and look at your masteries here, on the dagger side of things, the shadow armor, when you pop your block for dagger, or you use a movement ability for dagger, you get right now in T1 700 evasion. It will more than likely go up in T2 to like 900 to 1000, so keep this in mind. But even at 780, I believe is what it is, 780, changing the evasion to endurance for ranged and magic, 780 plus 1700 is 2400 range endurance, 2400 magic endurance. You're not going to find people, very few people, that stack that much crit. You're going to be tanky. This is a build that most Dark Gliders are not going to be used to, and it is going to be great. Make sure you're weaving in your movement abilities to keep the range and magic endurances high. Realistically, don't worry. Don't stress about those melee greatsword users anymore because you won't be one shot. Now, if we get down here to max health, you have 23,500 health. Mana is 9,700. Mana regen 657. Health regen's real low. Skill damage boost right here 372 and cooldown speed at 53. Those are really high numbers. You're gonna be able to get some huge explosions off with the skill damage boost. And then that cooldown is gonna allow us to do it that much faster here. We do have an extra hit chances on bind and sleep chances because your dash and weaken chance. That's it right there. Remember, your 2 set for Elder is every time you weaken a target, you get a stack for extra skill damage over time. Stacking weaken chance here. It's gonna be beautiful. Other than that, guys, that's the build. If you like what you see here, you want to see the more damage build that I have set up where it's more of a glass cannon, I will be making a video on that as well. But this is more than likely the build that I'm going to start T2 with. So follow along. If you haven't already, hit that sub button. Watch me on Twitch. Watch me on TikTok. Wherever you watch me, I appreciate everybody. Just know we're going to hit some massive sleep bombs. And I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.